And it was at this moment Mitchell knew he fucked up.
Jesus, dude.
Ah, that made me lightheaded. See, that's how you properly fail a squat. I see a lot of people taking the bar and they'll fall forward with it when doing a back squat, and that is so bad for your spine. So when I do the squats, I always start with a couple higher volume sets. So for me, I just put a plate on, I do 12 reps. I put two plates on, I do 10 to 12 reps. And then I go into more of a powerlifting style. So for the instance of this workout here, I'm doing sets of three. So I do 3 reps, I increase the weight, I rest for a couple minutes, I do 3 more reps up until I get to that maximum weight. And as you see, I was supposed to get 3 reps of 365, but I failed. Rest assured, I did end up doing 3 reps. I could do 5 reps of that now, but we all got to start somewhere. So I really like to incorporate front squats into my routine. That's where you rack it up in the front on your shoulders. And I don't really do this for my legs, I do it for my core because it requires so much more core stability to perform a front squat. Oftentimes, I'm just doing heavier weight and lower reps with the front squat because I want to get the nervous system adaptations. So basically, it's just going to allow me to have more core stability for when I'm doing something like a back squat or a deadlift or bench press or really any heavy compound movement. It's going to translate over and allow me to have a more strong and stable core. So the split squat is one of my favorite leg workouts. When I didn't have any gym equipment, this was my favorite at-home workout to do because it's just so brutal. You can target your quads, your glutes and hamstrings depending on your stance. So it's a really great workout. Try and body weight. It's going to kick your ass. You see me here doing them with dumbbells. I like to front rack them. You can often hold them down at your side. Sometimes, especially lately, I've been doing it with a barbell. So I'll set up that bench in the squat rack and then I'll be able to use a heavier load and it feels a lot more comfortable. Because as you can see in this video of me doing a heavier set with the dumbbells, I think I have the 70s, it's difficult to get them up into the front rack position. Or if you're holding them down at your side, your grip's going to give out because you're going to be doing quite a few reps. The RDL is an exercise I focus on a lot to help the eccentric lengthening of my hamstrings. So for me, doing a deadlift, I have a very difficult time getting down into the bottom position of the deadlift without rounding my back, and it's due to my hamstrings being short and tight. So I do a lot of RDLs to help stretch them under tension. That way I can go and perform the deadlift and get down into the position without rounding my back. It's very important when you do the RDL to do something called hinging at the hip. So as you can see in this video, my back is straight, it's not moving. My knees are kind of locked in one position, and the only movement is happening at the hip joint, and that's allowing me to purely isolate my glutes and hamstrings. And doing this is a very essential thing. Before you even learn how to deadlift, learn how to do the RDL, because that's going to translate to the deadlift. Here we have the reverse hyperextension. This is probably one of my favorite glute workouts alongside the hip thrust, but I see a lot of people go on that glute kickback machine that pretty much every gym has. I think that thing is horrible. It is poorly designed. It's just a terrible machine. Like I used to try to use it to build the mind muscle connection in my glutes, and once my gym got a reverse hyperextension machine, I was blown away by how much better I can contract my glutes on that. I can kind of just forget about my core and focus on my glutes and hamstrings and getting my hip into extension. So for anyone out there trying to build bigger glutes or stronger glutes, skip the glute kickbacks, find a gym or ask your gym owner to get a reverse hyperextension machine because every gym needs one of those. Can these glute kickback machines, glute reverse hyperextensions, that's what you need. Here you see me doing the calf raise. A lot of people like to point at genetics, and I want to say, yeah, that is definitely a factor in someone's calves, more so in the way they look. But I want to make one thing clear. I always train calves. Every time I hit legs, I train calves. For the last 10 years, I've always done that, just always how I've done it. And that's how you grow big calves. You do them just like you do your quads, your hamstrings, and your glutes. You can't just do this, every other week kind of thing for your calves and expect them to grow. No, you have to train them consistently, and you need to train them heavy so that they have the right stimulus to grow. I see so many people that get on that calf raise machine and they put really light weight. Like I see adult males putting one plate on that calf raise machine, and I'm like, that's not gonna do it. Your calves bear your body weight all day, especially if you're at a job standing. Your calves are just holding your weight all day. For me, I'm 200, 210 pounds right now. So when I'm standing, my calves all automatically just know how to handle 200 pounds. So you see me with 4 plates at one point on that calf raise machine. That's what it takes to grow your calves. Like it has to get a stimulus that is heavier than your body weight in order to actually do something. So when it comes to calves, don't train them light, train them heavy just like you would the rest of your legs or your chest when you're doing the bench press. If you can do a very heavy calf raise, safely, slowly, and controlled, of course, then you're going to be able to grow your calves. I don't want to hear any excuses about why you can't grow your calves until you put some weight on that machine and actually perform the exercise with some intensity. So anyone who's been to a gym has used a hamstring curl machine. Makes your hamstrings feel like you're cramping up, but not everyone has tried the reverse hamstring curl. So if you're doing hamstring curls every single time you go to the gym, I think it's time to try this variation. And it is very difficult. For the most part, if you've never done it before, you're only going to be able to control yourself on the way down on that reverse hamstring curl. And that's okay. That's where you got to start. No one ever just gets on the reverse hamstring curl setup and is able to go down and back up. Give those a try. It's going to completely overload your hamstrings. I recommend starting really slow, maybe just 1 or 2 sets of those until you can become more comfortable. Because you'll notice if you have never done that before and you try doing 4 sets of eccentric overload on your reverse hamstring curls, your hamstrings are going to be destroyed. They're going to be chronically sore for a week and you're going to overtrain them. So start light. You don't want to tear a hamstring. So the same idea with this leg extension variation. We've all done the leg extension machine, but has anyone tried a bodyweight leg extension or a closed chain leg extension? This is where you get on the ground on your knees and you can either point your toes or stick them into the ground and you lean back and you're going to feel a very deep, immense stretch on your quads. It's going to feel a lot different than your typical leg extension because a typical leg extension, the focus is all on that squeeze. But this right here is going to stretch out your quads a little bit and give them a little bit more length. Lastly, to finish it off, we're doing the abductor and the adductor machine. This is a great exercise for either your inner thighs or your glutes. Most people are either weak in one or the other, so you might want to focus either on the one that you feel is weak. Like if you feel like your inner thighs are pretty skinny and small, maybe focus on the adduction, adduction, where you're bringing your legs together. And if you feel like your glutes are more weak, then maybe focus on the abduction, where you're pulling your legs apart. If you made it this far, I just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting my videos. The best thing you can do to support my channel is watch these videos all the way through. That's how it'll help it get viewed. It makes YouTube think people really enjoy my videos if you watch them to the end. So anyways, drop a like on the video. Leave me a comment with some stupid shit. I don't know. You can say whatever you want. Make me laugh. I enjoy getting dumbass comments. Sometimes people comment things and I'm like, what? Where'd you even get that from? That's the kind of stuff I like. That kind of stuff motivates me to keep making videos when people interact and engage. It just shows me that people are watching. So if you made it this far, leave a comment, something. Keeps me motivated to keep doing this and creating content that's informative and entertaining. If you haven't already, go check out Gainz 30. It's a new podcast that I'm doing. I interview a variety of different health and fitness professionals about a variety of different topics. It's all about exercise performance. So if you're looking to make some gains, go listen to that podcast because there's so much good information in there from very knowledgeable people, not just myself, but other people that I've known that have impacted me and taught me a lot of things. So go ahead and check that out too. I'll link that in the description, and I'll see you next time.